I realized in that moment that I was really a hypocrite. I was out talking about world peace, yet I was treating my body violently. I was talking about poverty, yet I was eating more than my fair share. And I realized I needed to do a self-assessment to try to be a good steward of the opportunity that was being given to me.
Welcome back. You are watching the Dr. Nandi Show, and today, very important topic. We're talking about genetics and how some of our most basic ideas about genes have dramatically changed. My next guest is living proof of that statement. He went from being shoeless, homeless, overweight, and nearly suicidal to becoming one of the biggest social media influencers on the planet and a United Nations appointed global champion. Please welcome my friend Brian McGill and his amazing wife, Jenny Young McGill, to the show. Thank you both for being here. So let's see Brian's shoes now. Very different than he was. So, we introduced him the top, shoeless, you know, overweight, very different world. Tell me about your life back then.
Well, I was just running around in the South, barefoot as a child on those red clay roads, and like Huckleberry Finn, more or less.
Yes.
And, of course, partaking in the Southern diet. Even more than that, the chemicals. It took a systemic toll on me over the long range, just moving through life. If you just stay on that conveyor belt of just moving through life, it can take a tremendous toll on your health and well-being, and you don't even know what has snuck up on you somehow.
And your genetics was, I mean, your family were you following the path of everybody else?
Of course, just about everyone in my family had a heart attack or heart surgery by the age of 50, a lot of obesity, diabetes, high blood pressure, the typical things that we see.
You're just part of the gang.
That's right. That's
and
right.
then you had a pair of jeans that you brought along with us.
Right.
Can you show us those jeans?
I can, and I can tell you a little story about these jeans
please do.
as well. I remember, you know, Jenny and I, we have a mission to try to uplift and help people and share what's in our hearts with other people. And I remember when I started having some so-called success, whatever you want to call it, I found myself suddenly appearing in fancy places like this. And I was a person who had never experienced fancy places, fancy things. And I was on a red carpet event one day, standing next to someone wearing a $10,000 suit. And I was wearing the fat pants from Walmart because it's the only thing that I could find that would fit my 50-inch waist.
Look at that.
And I
probably put his entire body in there now.
Yeah, he can get him one side.
Yeah, and I realized in that moment that I was really a hypocrite. I was out talking about world peace, yet I was treating my body violently. I was talking about poverty, yet I was eating more than my fair share. And I realized I needed to do a self-assessment to try to be a good steward of the opportunity that was being given to me. So I knew I had to change my life, and it got me thinking about things.
And here's the thing, you know, you saw all around you that this was your destiny. You know, not being able to, we've talked before the taping of the show, you couldn't climb up, you know, a couple of flights of stairs and you were done.
That's right.
And so, but that, you saw everybody around you, you said, you know, why not stop and say, this is my destiny? But something told you that there's more than that. Tell me what you did and how you changed your life.
I didn't go into a gym and stress myself out, which can just be another stressor in your life. It can create a cortisol response. I started slowly introducing real foods into my life and slowly getting the chemicals out of my life while just doing gentle walking.
And what happened?
I was able to lose 100 pounds. I was able to take my waist from a 50.
Big applause for that.
Thank you. From a 50 to, you know, a 33 waist.
Wow.
But mainly, I didn't do it for weight loss. I did it out of a sense of humility because I decided in my mind that it is supremely arrogant to throw away the sacred gift of life. I did it to be a humble person. I did it to live, not to lose weight.
And genetics, well, you know, if you thought it was just genetics, you would never succeed.
No.
Danny, how does you live his life now compared to looking at those pants and those stories. It's night and day, isn't it? What? And you told me about what's in your kitchen. Maybe describe that.
Well, I met him after he had
Right, of course.
after he'd lost his weight, so I know him who he is today. And I think one of the most important things about how he lives is it's how I live. And so when you're partnering, you live the same way. It is so important that you're on the same page and you can keep going on that road together. I think if one person's this way, and if he had been the person he was before, we wouldn't even have met. We wouldn't even have been able to go on another date, because I'd be like, hey, I don't drink Cokes and I don't, eat fried chicken. It's not, yeah. So our kitchen's pretty clean. We eat a lot of salads and a lot of cabbage, and we try to not eat processed foods. We don't use a microwave. We try to walk every day together.
You were dyslexic, and you had some other difficulties in learning too, right?
Well, I dropped out of school. I have an 8th grade education. I was dyslexic. But I loved information. It's just the way that I took in information was a little bit different. And so there were a lot of struggles trying to understand myself. And really, what I feel like a lot of the problem was with the weight. As it was almost like a sort of a psychological tumor. I had entombed myself in a protective layer because of issues regarding to shame. So there's a psychological and spiritual component to wellness and reclaiming your health that is very, very internal.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Pat.
Of course. Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Partha Nandi, and if you enjoyed that video, you're going to love the next one. It's full of incredible information to help you start your health hero journey.